See, when I was learning to sew a long time ago, I bought a lot of stuff. And today, just going through some of my old stuffs, I figured out this box. This is a box that back in the days, I used to put threads and all this little stuff I bought. And when I saw this box, it kind of reminded me of all the projects I had done in the past. Every one little thread here represents a project I ever worked on. See, they are different colors, but some of them were also bought out of shared mistakes. This is typical of a learner. When you just start to sew, you're definitely going to be buying a lot of stuff that you don't need. And nobody told me that I wouldn't be needing all these things, but some of them were actually used, really used, and made some beautiful projects out of them. At the time, I also felt like I wanted to make something I could sell, just trying out different stuff. I think I bought these labels, and the funny thing is that I never ever used this one. I just bought this on Amazon. It says handmade, it was leather. And you see, sometimes the way it goes is that it's not like I just have to buy all these things. Sometimes I have an idea and then I want to quickly just test it out. So I buy a fabric. In a separate video, I'm going to be showing you my fabric dump. I have a lot of them: cotton, linen, velvet, a lot of them for different ideas that ever came. But all this adds up to what made me the tailor that I am today. See, when you want to start to sew, there is no shortcutting the process. There's no way you can just start to sew and then you buy only 2 threads and then you already become a super tailor or whatever, fashion designer, whatever you want to call it. You have to pass through this process. You will need to buy some fabric. You will need to test a lot of stuff. You will make mistakes. You will buy threads. You keep buying threads. And then at some point, you will feel like you're already good enough. You can already begin to design your own stuff. And then you want to buy labels. But judging from my own experience, I would want to advise you, perhaps you are just learning to sew for the first time, try to buy less of this stuff. If you're learning to sew, you don't really need to be particular about the thread you are using at the time. See, if you are just doing some rough work, trying to test how you mount a zip, if you have a blue thread, please go ahead and use it. Because some of these things I ever bought, these were not things I really used. Just take a look at this thread. Still very full. Perhaps I wanted to fix just something and I felt like I wanted to have the matching color for the matching thread for the project. It wasn't really necessary. See, if you are starting out and you are on the budget, you don't have like a lot of money, try to see how you can spend less. If you have a project, say a white fabric, and you look around, you don't have a white thread, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and use a color like this. This actually was a wrong purchase. See, I bought it and never ever used them. They were just lying around. All these represent wastage. These are a lot of money I lost. Perhaps sometime in the future, I will still get to use some of these things, but I really doubt it because now I've got a different process altogether and I've got really better machines and I've kind of developed things more. So I may not really have to go back to all this. So if you are just starting out, try to see how you can spend less on your project. It doesn't necessarily have to be that you have a project, then you have to get a matching thread. If you don't have black, you can equally use a brown thread. And there's no rule that says that the thread has to be exactly the same color of the project you are working on. I mean, for the start. But when you become better at sewing, things become much, much, much better. Then you can begin to consider investing more on your tools. Basic thing you want to just quickly get some few threads. You want to get a tape, you want to get a scissors, you want to get a tailor's chalk or a tailor's pen, depending on whichever you are using. This was a couch. There was a phase in my tailoring career, I felt like I could make couch covers. And I realized that this thread was too thin. And then I went with the Guitar Man. I don't know, this is 100% polyester. And it was M782 Guitar Man, 100 meters. It was very thick because then I needed to do a top stitch on the couch covers, and the thin thread would not just come out right. So I bought this. I think I only used it for 1 or 2 couch covers, and then the whole project came to an end. This also represents wastage, but for me, it adds to my experience, you know. But if you want to go this way, I really advise you just going by my experience. It's not necessary to buy all these things. Just have a minimum approach to learning tailoring. Get a few thread, get a few zips. In a separate video, I'm going to be showing you also my zip bag. It's crazy how much I spent on these things. But if I had seen a video like this, perhaps I would have had a rethink, but I didn't see a video like this. I just felt like tailoring was all about having all these stuffs. The real thing that you have to be seen doing if you're learning to sew is that you have to be practicing your stitches. Get to know your machine. You know, you have to really get to know your machine, because if you get to know your machine, the angles, how the fabric moves, and how far you have to, if you're using an electric machine, how far you have to press to get a particular stitch done, then in my opinion, more better things to do, you know, than just thinking of how to make your tools box or your sewing area filled with so many things that you might never ever use. I felt like making this video because I feel like somebody out there right now might be spending a lot of money just buying unimportant things, you know, buying threads upon threads, trying to get the best scissor set. You know, starting out sewing, you pretty much just need some basic stuff. You need a scissors, definitely a good scissors, perhaps a 12-inch scissors. You need a tape, you need a tailor's chalk. If you don't have money to invest in a very functional table, you could also use the ground. You know, it might be difficult at first, but if you're on a budget, these are little ways you can actually reduce your cost. Threads, you don't need to buy all these threads. You know, I did this learning. My learning process took me a long time, and this was all the things that got wasted in the process. I really doubt if I'm going to ever come to use some of these, because right now my projects are pretty much limited to some certain kind of threads. These are wastages, and I'm going to be trying to pack them up, just clean them, perhaps offer them to somebody that might need them. So I'm going to clean them up, get a better box for it, and then just put it outside my house, and perhaps somebody might walk by and still have need for some of these things. So if you are starting out, watch out. Make sure you are not investing so heavily on threads. You can always practice your sewing with any kind of thread. As a matter of fact, if you've seen my videos lately, I tend to kind of use contrasting threads for each fabric so that you guys can really see where the stitches are going. And if I have to use the matching color and on the matching fabric, then definitely when I record the videos, you don't see where the stitches are, and it really doesn't help you. So I'm trying to really use contrasting threads for the various projects I'll be doing on this channel. So basically, the aim of this video is just to help someone out there to stay away from losing a lot of money trying to figure out how to sew in the beginning. Later on, when things get better, when you become more of a professional, like I said, you can begin to consider increasing your assets or your arsenal of tailoring materials. But all this, even though they were not so expensive, but it also represents some form of loss, you know, but it's all for the purpose of learning how to sew. I hope this video helps you. If it does, go ahead and click on the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Until I see you again. Peace.